Hey everybody, Alan Weber from the Mayor's Office on a cloudy Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. I really have two or three things I want to talk to you about, and I know the governor's going to come on in a few minutes with some new announcements about her approach to opening up the state and where we are with the COVID virus. I thought I would mention a couple of things about COVID first. Number one, yesterday we got our number again. Yesterday the number was 0. So that's great. That's phenomenal news. Keep doing that. I'm going to go over it again. Wear your face mask when you go out. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. Practice social distancing. It's working. The more we stay home, the safer we are. If you have to go out for a meal pickup, or you go to the grocery store, go to the pharmacy, do it. Wear a mask, wash your hands, use the hand sanitizer when you leave, when you come home. Here's a piece of news I got today from a meeting, an online meeting. There's a thing in the world of COVID tracking called the rate of transmission of the virus. It's how many cases one person leads to. So ordinarily one person, if they have COVID-19, will infect 3 to 4 other people. And that's how it spreads, because each of those 3 to 4 other people then affect 3 or 4 other people, and you go from 1 to 9 to 27, and pretty soon you're at 1,000. Well, the rate of transmission of the virus for the city of Santa Fe is 1.1. That means each one person who has it is only passing it on to one other person. That means social distancing is working. It means we are cutting down on how many people get sick, we are reducing the risk of the loss of life, and we are flattening the curve so that the pressure on our healthcare system has been reduced. That's really useful, because right now, in Albuquerque in particular, a lot of the people in the northwest corner of our state, Farmington and Gallup, they are sending patients to Albuquerque because that is the really hot spot for COVID-19 in New Mexico. Overall, the rate of transmission of the virus for the whole state of New Mexico is 1.24. So in spite of these several places that are still flaring up with serious transmission rates, overall 1.24 means we are, as a whole state, doing a great job of keeping the lid on the transmission of the coronavirus. So stay the course, stay home. The governor's making some announcements this afternoon. I think she has been talking about an economic strategy for reopening the state, keeping safe, and starting the businesses of Santa Fe and the rest of New Mexico back in a gradual way. We don't want to see another spike. If you look at the charts of the Spanish flu, it wasn't the first wave that killed people, it was the second wave. It was much, much higher. So even as she will report back to us about her decisions and the rate at which we'll all be able to resume some economic activities, please remember we still are living in a COVID virus world. We need to be safe. You need to keep your grandma and grandpa safe. You need to keep aunts and uncles safe. You need to keep your kids safe. So wear a mask, use hand sanitizer, don't touch your face, 6 feet distancing, practice social distancing. Last night we had a city council meeting. I think some of you may have read about it in the paper. We took a very, very hard and emotional vote on furloughs for the city employees and for our managers and for our city council members, for me as well. This is a result of the economic aftershock from COVID-19. We are still in the middle of a healthcare crisis, a public emergency around public health, but now we are dealing with the aftershock of that public health emergency, And I thought I'd read you a few paragraphs from a speech I gave to open the debate about this furlough plan. Here's what I said. Now we get to the aftershock of the public health crisis, the financial crisis. Having done our best to act fast and act smart to assure the health and safety of our employees and our residents, we now must turn our efforts to assuring the health and safety of the city's own finances, our fiscal well-being in the short term, and then going forward into the next fiscal year and beyond. All those empty hotels and closed restaurants, shuttered shops and locked up stores, the canceled markets and fiestas, the empty planes and darkened movie theaters, the closed malls and postponed graduation parties add up to a $14 million shortfall in our general fund and a $46 million gap in all of our funds taken together. That's a rough estimate because we still don't know what the real number is. It could be larger, it's unlikely to be smaller. We not only don't know how bad it is with any certainty, we don't know how long it will last, when a recovery will come, how strong the recovery will be, and whether we'll face a second wave of the virus in the fall, presumably after some recovery has begun. That means we can't delay, we can't put decisions off, and it means that just as we have made many constant day-to-day, hour-to-hour changes in our way of working to respond to the public health emergency, we'll be called on to adapt, adjust, and change as we move ahead to overcome this financial crisis. There are a few things about this financial crisis we need to be clear about. First, this financial crisis is nobody's fault. We didn't spend our way into a financial crisis. In fact, we've consistently added to our reserves as prudent fiscal stewards. We didn't ignore the warning signs because there weren't any. We didn't fail to prepare for a fiscal crisis because it's really a public health emergency that is now turned into a financial crisis. So, if you're feeling angry, frustrated, sad, mad, or just plain fed up because this whole situation really sucks, I agree, it really sucks. And if you want someone or something to blame, blame COVID-19. COVID-19 is like a thief in the night that snuck into our home and stole our money, our sense of security, and our nest egg for future investments, and left us with a $46 million debt to pay. That's where we are, and once again, I agree it sucks. So what are we going to do about it? We have 2 months to find $46 million, and that's what we're going to do. So that's the situation. We are facing a tough financial crisis after the tough public health emergency, and we are rolling up our sleeves and going to work to balance the budget between now and the end of June. Starting next week, our City Council, our Finance Committee, and then the other 2 standing committees of the City Council will go to work looking at what a budget for fiscal year 21 looks like, knowing that we don't have all the data, we don't know whether the economy will recover, and if it will recover, how fast. We know we're going to have a summer without a Spanish market, without an Indian market, without a IFAM, a folk art market. So those are off the table. Now it's up to us to make strong, smart, flexible, strategic, compassionate decisions as we build the budget for next year. Coming up Monday night, just to put you in the know, is a vote on an agreement with a developer to be our partner for the Midtown Campus project. We have been bringing this project along slowly, strategically, with great objective oversight, with care, with real management skill. There was a process by which potential partners, potential developers made their proposals to a city advisory committee made up of our department heads and some outside consultants. They've now brought to the City Council a unanimous recommendation of a partner with whom we should work going forward. Monday night we'll be voting on whether to accept that recommendation, whether to sign an agreement with that partner that'll last about a year in length to work on the next phase of planning. Right now, there is no master plan. There are ideas, there are concepts, there are some proposals, but what we need to work toward is a real master plan. It'll have housing, it'll have higher ed, it'll have digital entertainment, but we have to work out where and how much, how to put in sustainable elements, how to integrate the surrounding neighborhood and protect it, how to involve arts and culture. So as we move forward, if the council votes to accept the recommendation to work with this master developer, this partner, all the work really then begins. Public engagement begins, an assessment of the site itself, looking at the infrastructure, looking at the phases of development that would go forward. That only starts after a vote to develop a program with one entity, one partner, the one that has been recommended by this advisory body. So that vote is Monday night. If it were to pass, there will be an opportunity to ask questions of the partner who's been selected. There'll be representatives of that partner standing by. Of course, if the recommendation is turned down, the partner is turned down, and then we go back and look at another partner. But if it were to pass, if the recommendation is adopted, and if there is a new contract with that partner, the floor will be open for questions about the site, the developer, the process going forward. So there is a window of opportunity now. If you have questions or ideas or comments, to please send those in. We'll be feeding them to the master developer that's been recommended, the partner who is on tap to be voted on. If the vote goes in favor of that contract, that relationship, your questions will immediately be fed to that partner in a session after the council votes. That's Monday night, a special council session. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Please remember that even as we talk about economic issues, about opening up some stores or opening up the economy, changing some of the requirements that the governor has laid down, even as we move in that direction, the data tell us that we are still not out of the woods on the COVID-19 virus. So if you go out, you want to go for a walk, a bike ride, a jog, please wear a mask. Please wash your hands. Please don't touch your face. Please respect a 6-foot distance between other people. We really don't want to see our numbers spike. The real danger as we begin to reopen our city and the state is that we revisit the past with the Spanish flu. The first wave of the Spanish flu was small. The second wave was what killed most of the people who caught the flu. So let's be smart, let's be safe, let's be strong, let's stay the course, stay focused and stay healthy. Until I see you tomorrow, remember, do your best, wash your hands, wear your mask, practice social distancing. If you go for a walk, be very respectful of other people, and stay safe, stay healthy. To the greatest extent possible, please still stay home. Thanks a lot, and I will see you tomorrow for a weekend wrap-up. We'll know by then what the governor is announcing this afternoon. I can tell you how Santa Fe will be adapting to her new direction. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.